Node 564560 connected to Node 564562. Node 67061 disconnected.
Time is 8 p.m.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur enthusiasts that go to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, and a little bit of the history of our group. Also, you'll find a link that will take you to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we simulcast our audio on WW7ATS sister station, 2-meter station 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for our nets. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. Again, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Signed in by video link already is Lee, N7KC, Jim, N7QO, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else wishing to check in?
Good evening, Dave. Dave, WU7N. It doesn't look like the low latency USL.net site is working tonight. Also a little bit of hum on your signal. Is there hum on mine?
It's a humming network tonight. That started the last net we had, so something up on the hill is not working properly.
Okie doke. Well, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm back. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's pick up Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
And we'll try again for Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Node 3889175 connected to node 564560.
And no response from Lee. Let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, I know sometimes it takes Lee a minute or two. He has some sort of internet connections problems occasionally.
Disconnected.
And then trying to come in through Echolink. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, I hear that distortion as well. Only on 2 meters. I do not hear it on the 1.2 gigahertz machine. So, don't exactly know what to make of that. And that's the same as it was previously. It's an absolutely beautiful, clear night here, not a cloud in the sky, and absolutely no wind whatsoever. And for that matter, it's going to get cold. Right now I'm showing 38 degrees here, just south of Covington. I'm not real sure what it's going to get to tonight, but I'll bet it's going to be a chilly one today. Let's see. I'll bet most everyone is watching the end of the game. I kind of gave up just before the end of the third. It was like 30, don't quote me, I want to say it was 34-6 Seahawks. I don't know, not a terribly exciting game. maybe if you like seeing your team win, it's exciting, but I kind of like the games where the score goes back and forth and you're always left guessing who's going to win. I think we know who's going to win this one, and I'm happy about that. It's just maybe not as exciting as I would like. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
In 7QO, thanks with that. And the game stands at this point with San Francisco 6, Seattle 41. 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Let's pick up James, WU7N.
Okay, I'm starting here and seeing how long it takes to get OBS synchronized up and see if that works. I think I'm on the air. Okay. Well, I'll show you something tonight. A continuing project I've been working on. Here, let me see if I can get this phone to flip. There it is. Okay, so I'm working to repair this little SWR meter. Here's the circuit board. And I thought it would be pretty easy because I thought I just had one diode to replace right here, and then one diode to replace right here. And AI told me that those are the two most common failure points for simple little reflected power meters like this. But then I discovered all this stuff over here is soldering this connector on the outside, and even though it kind of looks like this would just pop out, it doesn't. So my initial plan to remove these screws right here, 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 and then here and here, 6 screws, I thought this would just lift all out. But with these connections soldered to the board, it's not going to work that way. So I guess the only thing I can do is cut the diodes out, leaving little legs of wires sticking up on the printed circuit board, and then put the 2 new diodes in, which I found a bubble pack from Radio Shack in my junk box for $1.19. I wonder how old those are. But anyway, I was going to try and put those in and see if I could resurrect this. As you'll notice, there's all kinds of pots, and there's I think this is a capacitor, and I think this is an adjustable capacitor. But there's all these pots. I'm just sort of hoping that they don't need any additional tweaking when I put the 2 new balanced diodes in. If the diodes are balanced, I'm hoping whatever these pots are, it's good enough. It is an analog meter on the other side, as you can see. It's not designed for extreme accuracy, but I'll have a whole new project if it turns out those pots need to get readjusted, because I have no idea even where to start. So that's what I have been doing. And other fun activities for the Saturday I'll talk about next time around. So this is James, WU7N, back to net.
We bond.
And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, here in Lake City, I got 40 degrees and it's clear outside. Well, today's activity for me was to get out, clear up my driveway. I had a bunch of leaves that were left over from a month ago, and they had piled up and the wind had blown them around. And I actually filled up one of those big recycled containers full of leaves that were in my driveway to show you how much that was there. So that was when I was outside enjoying some sunshine today. So anyway, that was what was happening there. So with that, I haven't got anything else to say. We can go back up to the top. And Lee has checked out at this point, so that leaves Jim N7QO.
Thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Wow, Dave, 41 to 6. Should have put some money on the team, I guess. I'm not one to do betting, but every now and then people make money on stuff like that. Let's see, so what did I do today? Did a little work around the house, actually did a lot of work around the house, mostly honeydews. And I also did some work at a neighbor's house here. Yeah, a lot of us are retired and need a little help with this or that, so I wound up doing that. And
hello, Lee.
One of his children were visiting, so got to visit with them as well.
Okay, you got an echo, and I'll talk later.
Okay.
Well, Tim, it looks to me like MFJ did not plan that VSWR meter to be repaired. I would guess that somehow you need to see if you can desolder those SO239s.
6, 7, 0, 6.
If it looks like they
disconnected.
made the connections after they put the PC board in there, so I don't know. I hesitate to say cut the ends off of the SO239 connectors if you can, but I'd like to pull the board rather than snipping the leads. But you got to do what you got to do. Probably your idea is a viable one because the thing is not working now. So if you do that, it's not like you're going to render it completely inoperative. Never looked inside one of those meters before. Honestly, I'm surprised that there are that many adjustments in there. Not exactly sure why there are so many, but I didn't get a close look. It looks like there are a couple of switches on the front, so maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you might pull your hair out a little bit on that. Some of these things, particularly with MFJ, I found they just need a little TLC. But I don't know. That's about the best suggestion I've got anyway. Best couple of suggestions I've got. The other suggestion, we might not want to go until 9 o'clock tonight. Unless some more people show up when the game ends. Dave, you said there was 5 minutes remaining. So maybe by 8:30 or so, someone else will show up here. Anyway, back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, and the game is finaled out now, 6-41, with Seattle taking the lead. And let's see if we can pick up James again, WU7N.
Okay, give me just a second. Let me spin up the bits here.
Node A, B.
.5D is. 5D is. This is WU7N, Whiskey Uniform, 7 November, Northeast Bellevue. Well, let's see. I'll show you the other thing that's kind of interesting and new in my life. I don't know if I've shown this before or not, but that's the new 2 meter and 70 centimeter rig. and I am really enjoying it. I think I said this on the last net, the most important thing, of course, is figuring out what the microphone does. Just a few buttons there to be concerned with. So anyway, and there's the ICOM in the background, which I haven't given up on yet. It may become a long-term first adjustment and possibly a repair project. And then I've got the two trusty handhelds. So let's see, what else did I do today? I took down Christmas ornaments, and I've got one string of Christmas ornaments that every year I think this is their last year. And then I found out someone is selling, I think it's 150 little 2.5 volt bulbs on Amazon, and I only need 35 to replace all the dead ones. And it's interesting, they have a type of bulb now that when it burns out, something else fries and shorts out the bulb. And so, because the bulbs are all obviously wired in series at 2.5 volts, 2.5 volts on a 120 volt AC line, there's got to be, I think, 45 or 50 bulbs in a string. And if one goes out and doesn't do that, then that whole string goes down. So the question is, do you spend $9 on 4 times more bulbs than you really need to fix everything, or do you just buy a new string of lights? The other thing that kind of, I think, gave up the ghost this year after many years of faithful service is I have a little projector that puts red and green dots and some little patterns up on my garage door. It's a laser projector. And the motor finally stopped, so now it's just red dots that don't do anything. So I'll either have to fix the motor or get a new one, or that one will meet its end, I think. So that was the other thing. I did get all that down and packed back up into a box. It's just kind of airing out a little bit before I put it away for storage. My goodness, it has been so wet this year. And yes, it is going to get cold tomorrow. But it hasn't really frozen hard where I live in this section of Northeast Bellevue the entire year. And everything is so damp. I opened a trunk on a vehicle that's been out in the weather this whole time, and my goodness, it was damp in there. So I may have to put some dry Z airs or something like that in there. It is supposed to hit the low of 34 degrees in my neighborhood at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Isn't that interesting? So yes, it's clear cold with, quote, gusts up to 5 miles per hour. I didn't know that was even qualified as a gust. Yeah, I agree with Jim. If we don't get more people, I'm okay with shutting down at 8:30 or whenever you want, Dave. Your net control. So let me turn it back to you. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society on a Seahawks night. So let me turn it back to you, Dave. Dave, right?
WU7N, thanks with that. Yes, and I think it's time we'll terminate the net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society transmitting in digital amateur television in a DVB-T format and also simulcasting on the 2-meter WW7 ATS repeater, 147.08. So at this point, we'll terminate the net at 8:20. Good evening all. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, terminating the net. Good evening all.
Good night, Dave. Good night, Jim. WU7N closing down.
Night all, this is KD7ZYM, clear.
Good night, all. N7QA. Thanks for showing up.
This is Kilo 7, Sierra November. Can I get a radio check, please? This is Kilo Sierra November. Nothing heard.
Node 3, 1, 5, 5, 3, 2, 5 connected to node 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 0. Node 3, 1, 5, 5, 3, 2, 5 disconnected.